Hi there, Anke Herman back again for a quick video. I've got a few minutes left until I've got to meet a group to take some measurements. So I thought I'd take the time to answer a question that came up a little while ago. And that question is, how can we compete against the usually cheaper mass-produced items? So the quick answer is, well, you don't. You really don't want to even go that route, and especially not compete on the basis of price, because, everybody who's ever made something knows that we don't have the machines and the automated processes to even remotely be able to produce as efficiently as a factory can. So we definitely don't want to go down that route. So what can you do? I suggest you want to think about what you can offer to your client that justifies the difference. And that needs to be something that they value. And your item being handmade may not be enough in a lot of cases, because sometimes it depends on what it is. Sometimes, just think about yourself shopping. Sometimes it's, say, just a stupid example. I go and look for a beach bag, right? And so I want this thing to be pretty. I want it to hold my stuff. I don't want it to bleach out in the sun, and I don't want my stuff to get wet when some seawater gets splashed onto it. So now if a bag comes along that happens to be handmade, and if I really like it, then yeah, that's cool. But the fact that it's handmade is really kind of secondary. I don't really care. So chances are I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to spend considerably more for a handmade bag, because the fact that it's handmade is just kind of, I don't really care. And now on the other hand, if I were to look for a bag for, to store all the baby stuff when I'm on the road, and that bag happened to have the baby's name embroidered in it, and maybe a matching whatever, then it's a perfect gift. One that's going to be treasured and not just thrown out with any other items that after a while are no longer used. So if it's personalized, then we're talking. Funny enough, I found for my flamenco dance costumes, that differentiator turned out to be way easier than I expected, because the flamenco dresses you can buy in a shop tend to be, they're not made for dancing. So in essence, they aren't really competition, because they're too heavy, they're made from materials, and they have cuts that aren't suitable for dancers. So if I can offer something that is comfortable for dancing, then then price is all of a sudden secondary. It's just no longer the main consideration. And another thing that people tend to value is uniqueness. Then it could be quick delivery time. There's just an app or a new website that's really popular here in Spain right now, and they import stuff from China, and the stuff's dirt cheap. But the thing is, you have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get it, and then you never know what you're going to get. And so your offer could be quick turnaround time. It could be organic materials that some people may value and others may not. I saw Chelsea asking the question, and I was a bit surprised how many people actually didn't think they were going to pay more for organic fabrics, where I would have thought they do. But, you can't ever know until you ask. Uniqueness, if I can guarantee that you will never ever bump into somebody with the same dress, people tend to value that. Sometimes it's even the fact that it's 10 identical dresses, because that's not as easy as it sounds either. I get a lot of groups who want to save money. They go say, okay, let's make the skirt, and we'll just go and buy a simple top to keep the costs down. And I don't think I've ever had a group that hasn't come back, because you go out and try, maybe in the States it's different, but certainly here in Spain, you go out and try and find 8 or 10 even super simple black whatever tops in all these different sizes that happen, people happen to have in a dance group, and you just don't find that. So they will always come back, because I can offer the same top or the same outfit in, from little kids to really big women, and all ages, all sizes. So that's something mass produced usually can't offer. And so whatever it is for what you're producing, you want to find the bit that differentiates you from the mass produced item, so that price becomes a secondary issue. So, or a really good one is people who have like fitting problems. Say they have like a hip problem, and there's sort of one leg, and if you offer a person like that a pair of trousers that really fits, they don't care what that costs, right? So you don't ever want to really directly compete against, because just the fact that it's handmade, there are people who will pay more for something handmade, but I would imagine there aren't all that many. So whatever that differentiator is, needs to be something your client values. And so that's like usually uniqueness, personalized, something makes them feel special, or all the stuff that I mentioned, and whatever you come up with for your own product. But if you find that differentiator, like nobody, and people who really insist on buying as cheap as possible, they're not your clients anyway. You don't want to really fight for their business, So I hope that's helpful. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So as I said, like for the flamenco dance costumes, that competition from the shops that I expected wasn't really there. So differentiating what I offer compared to the shops is really sort of quite an easy sale. I'd love to hear what you're offering that helps you sell your items, compared what gets somebody to buy your products as opposed to some mass-produced, factory-produced item. So I'd love to hear from you, and I'll talk to you again soon.